Let me add myself to the stream.
Can you hear me now?
Everybody, if you can see me, I know you can see me. I am Anna Bingham here, your favorite Scrum Master. I'm also in the, what do you call it, on Clubhouse. If you're not on Clubhouse right now, I don't know what you're waiting on or what you're waiting for. But you should definitely jump in on there because all the jams always go in at the in at the house. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. We try to have a live conversation with the Agile practitioner every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I know it's 7:25 Eastern time, but either way, it's on the 7. Okay. The goal is for us to provide information for you out there. And however you decide to use that information is up to you, but to make hopefully make insightful decision on this career path, right? So that's that. If you don't know Nicole, Nicole A, Nicole, go ahead and please introduce
Nikki A. Nicole A. Great. That's my new name.
the
Hey,
one
Anna, can you
I
hear me?
always I cannot hear you.
Huh.
I'll
Weird.
always give you
Odd.
tribute, Nicole, for being the voice of reason for me. I was when I was a social worker, Nicole was aware of that. And I was getting to the space where I've just had enough. I wanted more. And Nicole was like, why don't you try becoming a Scrum Master? I think you'd be an amazing Scrum Master. And I was like, what is that? I did my research and figure out not just Nicole, but somebody that knew Nicole that didn't know Nicole and I knew each other said the same thing to me. That's when I knew that, okay, if two people are telling me these two people completely don't know that I know it them, then I kind of need to do it. So I end up just um I end up just like doing that. I end up joining and finding out the course to take, and here I am, an agilist and trying the best to help other people become their best self. So, Nicole, that's the backstory with Nicole and I. And actually, when I started teaching, once again, she's the one in my behind my ear. Hey, why don't you start teaching other people? You seem
Yeah.
very, you seem really good. So I guess Nicole just believed in me, right? From a start, she just believed in me, and here we are.
Can you hear me now?
No, I cannot hear you though.
But the fact that you're saying you cannot hear me, it's weird.
Yeah,
Can you,
I can't. Can you guys hear me on YouTube though? If you can hear me on YouTube, please go ahead and tell me yes in the chat.
Anna, I can
I
hear
know I'm
you.
not
Can you
talking to
hear
myself.
me? Can you hear me? No?
You know?
Can you guys hear Nicole?
You know what's so funny? Nicole, speak again.
Can you hear me?
That was me. It was me. It was
Huh?
me. I was
No.
the one.
What do you mean? Can you guys?
I
Okay.
I was the problem. It wasn't you, it's me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It wasn't you, it was
Oh,
me.
wait. How about the audience? Can you guys hear me? I can hear, but great. Mary can hear us, so that's all that matter,
Okay.
right? The audience
Yes.
can hear us. That's what matter. Anna, man, Anna just texted me. Can you join my live session? I'm like, great. On a Monday night. Sure, why not? We love what we do. That's why we're here. But for those of you guys that know me, Nicole, aka Nikki A, that's my YouTube channel as well. Guys, go follow
That's
me.
it.
If you're not
That's
following me,
it.
go
You
follow
heard.
me.
You
Okay?
heard her.
So you can get all the good juice, because we be giving you guys the good for free. But anyway, my name is Nicole. Like Anna said, I actually I'm a scrum master myself. I'm a coach, a mentor, and also there's like a sound. I don't know where that's coming from. It's really weird. But I started my career in IT as an Oracle database administrator. It's funny because I actually was trying to get Anna back then to the Oracle. Then I texted her. I'm like, Anna, I don't know, man. If this is for you, maybe you should try Scrum. So I started my career working as an Oracle DBA, which is a little bit more techy. But then I found my niche, Scrum, right? Something that I really love, enjoy doing, and I've been doing this for some time, which I kind of, share my knowledge with you guys and obviously Anna here as well. I'm here to support anyone that needs any help. And I'm also a YouTuber. I have my own channel, Nikki A. Please, if you can follow me as well, I really appreciate that. I mentor, coach people, and also train people that want to either become Scrum Masters, or if you are a Scrum Master and you are struggling with your job, I'm also here to mentor you and ensure that you're able to maintain that. Without further ado, let me not take too much of your time. Back to you, to your favorite Scrum Master, Ina Bangam.
I love it. I love it. No, honestly, guys, we really go way back. You heard her. She's also an instructor. She's trying to help out people just as I am to get into this space. And I think that's what we noticed, that there's just a gap. There's a gap. Just no matter how many of us are into this space, there's still always going to be a gap. So the more we can try to talk through that, the better it is for us. Okay. So today's discussion really is to focus. We're having a diary, Nicolas mentioned earlier, it's a diary of a Scrum Master. So the goal is for us to essentially have, discussions that people normally wouldn't have, right? Because this is a diary. If essentially if I was writing this in a piece of paper, nobody will find it. So if you're hearing me, um, go ahead and don't share it to anybody but yourself. But anyways, share it to everybody you know, because everybody needs to know this. The topic today is things I wish I knew before my first role. And Nika, I'm gonna start with you because I think you came from a space where um, you were from a technical space to
Yeah.
now. What were some of the things that you wish you knew when you were jumping in here? And mine are very subtle.
Yeah, for me, the one thing that I really think I knew was, guys, if someone had told me the hardest part, or one of the hardest part of my job being a Scrum Master is finding the time on people's calendar to schedule a meeting, how difficult that could be. When I tell you, I spent sometimes hours in front of my computer just trying to find the time that's available for all of my team members, right? Sometimes it can take me like a whole hour just trying to find the time that it's available for all of my team members, because I'll find a time that works for one or two people. The next person, by the time I click on your name to add them on that meeting time, they are busy, right?
Hmm.
And then I'll find another time that that person is available. By the time I switch it to the other people, add other people's name, they are busy. But it got to a point where I just have to start pinging people like, hey, I'm really trying to schedule a meeting and your calendar is pretty blocked. Everybody else is available at this time. Can you make it available? So that really works for
Hmm.
me. But when I tell you that's one of the most hardest, sometimes it's the hardest thing for me, just finding that time to schedule a meeting.
Hmm.
Um, Another one for me is team members. When, like Anna said, right, I did Oracle before. Being a DB is a little bit different, you don't, you attend meetings but not as much as being a Scrum Master, right? You, as a Scrum Master, you own this meeting, right? You're pretty much the one facilitating these meetings. So when I worked as a DBA, I did attend meetings, but however, being a Scrum Master, when I tell you how hard sometimes team members can't even come to meetings. You set up your meeting, they agreed on the time, meeting starts. There's this one person on your team that for some reason just cannot make it, or it's always late, right? So I wish someone had told me how, like, you're gonna face, maybe have this type of challenges where you have people that just don't want to attend meetings for whatever reason. I guess they just think they're on a team by themselves. They just want to be doing their own thing. So, but again, it's just about you coaching them, ensuring that they understand the need or the importance of being part of a team, and the
Hmm.
importance of coming to these meetings as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like, Nicole, while you're speaking, other people are very concerned about where are you from? Are you
I
Cameroonian?
am in so I need you now, of
People
course. Yo,
people
yo,
have other concerns for you than what
I'm
you're
telling
talking
you,
about.
yeah, guys,
Talk
hey,
about our
hey, we.
people.
I mean, actually, I should have introduced myself and talk about that, right? I'm originally from Cameroon myself. I've just been in the U.S. ever since I was like 13. But yes, originally from Cameroon, 237.
That's it, on a period.
Yes, that's it.
That's me too. And guys, I'm telling you, this is such a small world, and that's why it's important for us. Um, Somebody says hearing her on YouTube, I thought she was from the island. Hey, whoa.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
from the island. Everybody,
Yo,
everybody.
yo, I've heard it. I've heard people said, or you look like you're from Nigeria. I've heard people say you look like you're from the island. I've heard it all, guys.
People are
Like,
becoming expert from where you're from,
you know
but
what I mean?
that's always good to hear, though. I at least
Yeah,
I think that's a big part about content creation, right? That
yeah,
people get more deep into who you are. They want to know you. They want to feel as though they're part of you,
yeah,
and they're connected to you. You guys are, they just want to feel a sense of belonging, and I think that's why communal practice is so important, to be able to have people that are similar and like-minded to you, to be able to go through this journey and say, "Hey, I know somebody that um one of me, right?" Like, I could go through. You're comfortable,
yeah.
you're confident to want to speak up more, so that's good. But I just thought to bring that up because it looks like something that people are interested in this chat. Silly you guys.
Hey, we're
um
family. We're family. You know, we're low key. Yeah,
Come on, Anna.
we're your internet people, but at the end of the day, we're family. We're just here to, assist and help
Why
you
human
guys.
beings?
Anna, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I
No,
thought
I
I was
was just
talking
like,
to
we're human
myself.
beings. No, 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 I promise you won't be
Yeah.
talking to yourself. I mean, besides the point that I like listening to my voice, you won't be talking to yourself for sure.
Ah,
Um
please. Okay, let's talk. Let's stop all this whole where you from, tribe. This is we're here to talk about Scrum in G. You okay?
So Nico, this is amazing. Let's appreciate you. You're providing tons of value to people that are on Clubhouse right now.
Oh,
And this is Nico is getting a lot of accolades in the Clubhouse chat. Maybe people find your content helpful. Not that maybe, I think people do
appreciate.
find your content helpful. And Nico, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Um, yeah, keep doing it for the people.
Yeah, I mean, we love what we do. That's why we're doing this, right? So there was just no way when Anna had reached out to me like, "Do you want to join my live?" The answer was, I'm like, Anna, really? Is that really a question? Come on. But
I was
anyways, yeah.
Yeah, it's poor planning. So back to the discussion at hand here, right? Things I wish I knew before my first role. Um, I think for a lot of us, we've never really gotten into the space of working in corporate. So there's a corporate culture. There's a culture shock that sometimes you can encounter. At least for me, what I can say is a culture shock that I kind of knew was there, but I just didn't put make sense to it because I'm also in the military, right? Being in the military, you're being told what to do, when to do it, right? Kind of sometimes, right? Or where to be. But in a corporate space, when somebody is trying to use command and control, when you know for sure that um, the command and control is not the best, command and control is not the best form to get the people, to get what you want from the people. It becomes a struggle. So I think one of the things that I personally didn't know I had to deal with was just like command and control that is still embedded into the corporate culture. One for that. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, although we work in this agile structure, where the team has authority, what you do get to understand is that um, are a lot of people are in the space where they're still in that command and control hierarchy type deal, right? You do what I tell you, or if you do what I tell you or do what I say, or right, there's that um type of what is it called? Is it retribution? Or what is something when you do something, if you don't do it, then there's the consequences, right? If you don't do this, then there's this consequence to your role or to how they see you and stuff like that. So it's just important for people to be really aware that although we work in an agile space, there's still this command and control culture in the corporate space. And their teams, even the way they're structured, where the manager from a team, right? a product owner can be a product owner on a team and also is a manager on some of the manager for some of the developers on the team, right? That within itself is a challenge. And I think with that challenge, it sometimes for team members to just go they just go through the flow and not really speak up as much as they should, or they could if they didn't have a manager that is a product owner as well. I guess, Nicole, my question to you is, have you experienced that in your journey where the product owner is also a manager to team members, and how did that impacted, right, transparency, or that impacted uh, psychological safety within that team?
No, I actually haven't had or met a product owner just yet that acts as a manager. Even though I kind of feel like sometimes some product owner kind of feel like maybe they're managers to the team, but I've not really come in contact with a product owner that is directly where my team members are directly reporting to.
Okay. Yeah, I have several of them, and I see what I saw a lot was that people didn't feel as though they can openly voice their opinions in some of the retrospectives have that, right? Because then the manager have a say to everything that was done. But one of the things that I did a lot of was helping that manager to understand when to have a separation of role. When are you a
Right.
manager and when you're a product owner? And on this team right now, you're a product owner. And in the events that I do see those behaviors coming across as otherwise, I do address it. Um, and I address it with my one-on-one time that I have with them, and I bring their mind back to a particular situation that has happened to give them context how that person could have taken it. I also had one-on-one time with that team member, well, with the developers, just to also hear their insight as to what is happening, right, how they're feeling, and be a voice. And sometimes, even if team members are not able to speak up in a retrospective, for instance, I will have to be a voice for them. That way, there's safety in numbers. That's it. The safety is numbers. But that's one of the things that I wish I knew. The corporate space has such uh, command and control, even with the model that we're
Right.
using. Another thing that I wish I knew was as simple as, um, so I didn't realize that I think I've shared this in the past, right? Sometimes when somebody you book time a series on the calendar and you go in, like let's say there's a meeting cancel, you can cancel just a series. One day, I cancel everything.
I had to laugh.
Cancel everything. So members are like reaching out, panicky, like, why do I have this extra gap on my calendar? I'm sorry, I didn't realize that it was just a series that I could have just delete this occurrence instead of canceling everything. But yeah, that's one of the things that I wish I knew. Another thing I wish I knew, which I
Wait,
think
Anna,
somebody,
can I add something to that?
yeah.
Well, no, that definitely happened to me as well. I should have added that on my I wish I knew thing. Yeah, I had canceled, guy. When you start working, there's so many little things that you're gonna find out. You're gonna be like, oh, that's what it is. So that actually happened to me as well. I went to when I just started to cancel a meeting. I had canceled the whole entire meeting, the entire series. So it's really important when you are canceling meeting, either even if you're not a scrum master or whatsoever, when you're canceling a meeting, just be very careful. Just make sure you're not canceling the series. Because once you cancel series, you're deleting the
The
entire
entire
meeting.
thing.
Everything. So make sure you're canceling the occurrence, and plus, too, when you schedule a meeting, right? You want to schedule if it's just a one-time event, something that's going to happen just once. Make sure you're just doing a one-time thing. Don't make it a series because it's going to appear on people's calendar until you have to delete it.
Yeah. Yeah, how about putting time on the calendar for time off, right? So another thing that does happen is that when you put time off on the since as well on the calendar discussion, when you do put time off, you have to put like on a free space. Because if you leave it on busy, however time you take it off, it blocks everybody's calendar.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I didn't realize until somebody called it out. But also, even if I send it out and it blocks everybody calendar, you can also they can go there and put it as free space, right? They can go there and adjust it, but most of the time people are just gonna reply, but like, "Can you please undo that and do the
Right.
right way?" So that's another thing that I wish I knew. And then another thing that I think I wish I knew really was that there's not a lot of people of color in this space. Um, and I knew this because why I came to realization when I was in the company for so long, and um I think it was like 6 months in before I saw like another person that looked like me, and this person didn't even work in my department. I literally had to like just talk to them just because, like, just I just had to talk to them. And even till now, just as much as a lot of us are getting into this space, that is, there's not that much of us in this space regardless. So it's that's why it's so important when we do get into this space to leave our mark and to leave like a remarkable to know our stuff, right? And to make sure that you're personally taking accountability for the mislearnings that you have and also your personal development, which is critical. It's critical. Um, Another thing that I wish I knew is I guess I'll let other people. I see that other people are sharing what they wish they knew, and Naso was like, based on the booking meeting, she had booked a meeting for 1 a.m. Fist purple crying. Yo, imagine booking a meeting for somebody who's like, who's gonna attend that meeting? And you're looking for the meeting for the calendar, like, I thought I booked this, but no, you booked it for the wrong time. Booking a meeting and forgetting the title, things not to do. You forgot the title of the meeting. At this point, where are we going? I wish I knew that some developers are introverts. When I started, I literally cry and they didn't want me. I don't understand. When I started, I literally cry and they didn't want me. Laugh
I
out loud.
guess I guess it's, they're probably saying, like how when
Literally cry.
like how developers
Oh, and
sometimes.
think they didn't want me. Yeah. So they cried and think that they didn't want them. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like how I think they're trying to say, like how when you maybe even one on one or even your stand up. Let's talk about stand up, right? You have your stand up meeting, and then developers are there. Not everyone wants to talk or give updates, and sometimes it can be frustrating. You want people to
Mm,
speak up, even retrospective as well. You want people to speak up, but they probably have something they want to say, but they're just very like introvert, right? They don't want to talk. They're not speaking, and you as a coach, you're here to really want to make them speak. But at the same time, these people are like just sitting in meetings and they're not speaking, and it could be really tough in the beginning until you really, but guys, don't give up, right? That's why you're a coach. That's why you guys are doing this. Just continue to reach out until one day they're gonna become your friend and start speaking to you.
yeah. Another thing that just made me laugh was I wish I knew that people would be just so blunt and tell you that like we were fine before we got you. If somebody telling you that we were fine before you came, it means that you're the problem.
Oh my goodness, I don't want nobody to experience that.
But you remember, I think, Nicole, you remember this because I think I had called you one of those times when I left one of
Yeah,
the companies and I was like, yo, I can't believe what I think I mean, this PO. And it was a PO too, wasn't it? Just like, I think I had, there was something that we were talking about in the
they didn't want
meeting.
to change. They didn't want
Oh,
to change.
yeah, they didn't want to
Yeah.
change that. Yeah. And I think they were like, yeah, I think Anna, we were doing just fine before you came in. I was like, oh, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, that's good to hear. Can we talk some more offline when you get a chance? Because I really want to understand what I'm doing differently that, is may not be working for you guys. And then we took it offline. I think for them, it was a startup company. And this is another thing that I will say for startup companies is that they have a lot thrown on them, right? And a lot of work thrown on the plate. And so sometimes like when we try to get them to do different things, they're just like, well, I don't have the bandwidth to start learning new things here, right? And that frustrates them. And that's why it's so important for us to be really more understanding. And to, yeah, he said that in front of the team. Yeah, it was in front of the team. it's really important for us to really make sure. Like I think I took the due diligence to understand where it was. I think it was just a frustration for where they were, right, with the work that they were doing. That and I didn't take it personal, and thankfully that's when I had you know started looking into some personal development, and there's this book that I read, The Fourth Agreement, actually, and 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 I learned that sometimes people say things not because of you, but because of other things, that factors that are going in their life, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not the problem, and I had to look at it objectively. But I will say, if I wasn't in the space that I was mentally, I would have definitely felt some type of way, for sure. I wouldn't have addressed it, or I wouldn't. If anybody else was to experience that, I don't even think you go back to that team the next day. Period.
Right.
Or even want to talk to them. You'll be hurt. But that's another thing that we get to learn about ourselves, and maintaining our emotions and just having emotional intelligence. It's just so it's just important. It's so important. I just cannot stress this enough. But Nico, anything on your end?
Aina, can you put the book? Someone was asking the name of the book you read.
It's the Fourth Agreement. I could put
Fourth. Okay.
the Fourth Agreement by Miguel. The Fourth Agreement. And I will say books, personal development books have helped me tremendously in this space, just for my mental and just creating peace for myself. Because it is, and then another thing is what I wish I knew was that I was a social worker, so I thought transitioning here was going to be, you know, just like a piece of cake. But the difference is that you're dealing with I was dealing with children and families, but now I'm dealing with people who actually have deliverables, right? Money is on stake, and nobody wants to be messing with money. People want to deliver, right? So they don't care. They just want to deliver, and however they're going to deliver, they're going to get there. They're going to also dismiss other people's feelings, that you will be the person to jump in there and try to support them. But I'm going to stop talking. Nicole, do you have anything to add?
No, I would just talk about like that. I think I knew. I just think I knew that being a Scrum Master is not just about running meetings and removing impediments. There are other responsibilities that you might get assigned to. That's not just you running meetings every day and just follow up on issues. I worked in a project where I didn't even know if I was a scrum master anymore or a release coordinator. I kind of was confused my title a little bit because they had me like coordinating releases, doing a whole bunch of different things. Even did some project management responsibilities at that time. So it's not just you running meetings and removing blockers and stuff.
So I guess what was some of the additional duties that you received that you were just like, what was I supposed? Is this my role, or were you questioning?
Yeah, like that releasing, right? Coordinating releases. I had a question like, why am I the one doing this? Why am I the one coordinating all these releases? I mean, it should be a whole collaboration with not just you, the team, the product owner, and other vendors, right? But then again, it just depends on the company you work for, what they want Scrum Masters to do, and then also budgeting. When I had worked on a project where I kind of was doing some project management responsibilities where I had to like be the one to allocate resources if they're short staff. You have
Mm,
to, yeah, be the one to make sure that you guys are getting, not only telling them that you need new staffing. You have to be the one to like actually come up with the budget for that and then post it and stuff like that, and also come up with the timeline, the roadmap, and stuff like that. So it was kind of a more than just being a scrum master.
mhm. Mhm. Wow. I I wouldn't. You know what? And that's the thing that I noticed, the difference between the mindset that I was in when I came was that I would have not want to do that. I would have probably pushed back. But now where I am, I will accept all of those things. I would say yes. Um, I'll learn, because all that is doing for me is adding more additional skills
That's
set.
exactly, you took that out of my mouth. I was gonna just say that like you're doing yourself a favor. It might sound like it's a lot of work, But at the end of the day, if you can learn it and add that additional skills on your resume, that's a plus. Definitely, you're gonna look way better than 100 other people that are going to be applying for that same position. So
Yeah.
anytime they're giving you responsibilities, I know you guys are gonna be like, yeah, this is not my job description. This is not part of my job description, but take it as a challenge and learn it. You just never know how far that's gonna take you.
Mhm. Mhm. And another thing that I realized other Scrum Masters was not doing that I knew that I was doing really good was personality. I came to work. I am Anna Bengum literally. Like I was with my Africa attire, my Ankara. Like that's one thing I said myself when I was going to the office. There will never be a day that I don't go to the office with something that represent who I am. There was just never a day. And I realized that the more I did that, the more people felt closer and connected to me. Even to the point where when I was leaving, I had a team member. Like, guys, I'm such a crybaby. Whenever I leave a team, I get so emotional.
Yes, that's me too.
I'm
Especially
like sitting there, like crying, like, oh my goodness.
Or especially a team that I really, really love, right? I don't know if you've ever worked in a team that, man, you just want to get up in the morning, log into work, meet these people, and just spend the whole day. When you get to leave that team, it's really sad. Or maybe if a team member is, leaving, it's really sad and stuff like that. So
I get
it's
so
more
emotional.
than just working. You build a really lasting relationship with some of these folks that you meet at work.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things where it's just like, that's why you really got to make a conscious decision. Is this just a job or this is a career? Because those are two different things.
Right.
If this is your job, okay, cool. Go get your check, right? Friday comes, you get paid and good, take care of your families. But if it's a career, then you're going to invest the time that it needs for you to be successful because you getting the job, that's basic foundational stuff, right? That's good. Congratulations. Now let's skip the job. But besides skipping the job, why else do you care? Do you care
Right.
enough to be curious, right? And I could tell that Nicole and myself did not get here by just, doing the basic foundational stuff.
Nope.
I listen to so much podcasts on Scrum and Agile, in the Agile community. I said to myself when I got to this space was I wanted to make sure I was very vast. I know as much as I could. That there would be never a day that somebody asked me something within the umbrella, within the frameworks, and I'm like, I don't know. I'll have some type of knowledge to share with them. Even if I have not worked in the capacity, I'll have some type of information to provide with them to them. That was just my personal commitment to myself, as far as like when I got into this space. So I think it's just important for people to be intentional about what it is that they want to be able to do. Um, and somebody is saying how realistic to work two Scrum Master jobs at once, not two teams, but two separate companies making two incomes at once. Um,
I don't know if this is a place to talk about that.
I don't know if that's the place to talk about that either.
Yeah,
I'm not. This is. I just want to say this though. This is we're on YouTube, Facebook.
yeah, yeah. I don't think this is a
So
right forum for that.
I don't think this is the right form for that either. But I'm sure that the people that are, if you're aware of people that are doing it, maybe ask them directly. And you can go from there. Um, but that's that. Any additional questions here before we get out of YouTube? Nicole, you've been amazing as always.
No, I'm
Um,
I'm good. I mean, you guys are amazing. You guys really took your evening to come listen to Anna and myself.
I would
So
listen to
shout
myself every day out there.
I know, right?
Like,
Definitely,
who
Anna would do
wouldn't?
that. So shout out, just want to shout out to every one of you that made it to this live session today. Obviously, this is Anna's channel. If you guys have any other maybe specific topic you need support or help with, you can either reach out to Anna directly, or you can also follow my channel, Nikki,
Mhm.
like my name says here. And then
Mhm.
I also post a lot of content on Scrum, and the
Mhm.
idea here is just to help you guys and share my knowledge from my personal experience. So everything I post out there is really and truthfully from my personal experience.
Mhm. And you can't go wrong with that. You really can't go wrong.
Nicole, how do we connect with you for the last and 100 million time? Nikki A, Nicky space A. Type it right now as I'm speaking, so you don't ask again. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, just Wait, actually, you know what? Can I type on the comment? I can
Yeah, you
put it.
can. I think you can.
Nikki A comment.
So, I think that somebody is saying the question is how you call yourself supporting people and you all can't even answer a question. That's whack.
What?
That's whack.
Who said that? What's the person?
Smith.
What? We're
Smith.
here supporting you guys. What do you mean? Did you post a question here we didn't answer?
Yes, I think his question was the realistic two jobs question. And I
Because there's
so
just
no no
certain. Go ahead, Anna.
yeah.
You take
No,
that.
no, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Go.
There's just certain place for certain questions and comments, and I don't think this is just the right forum because it's just not appropriate. I don't want that. I don't know how to really put this honestly. I just hey, reach out to me directly. We'll talk. Okay, Nikki A, and send me a message.
Cool. Well, Nikki, you're a better person than me, that's for sure. Um, but because this is what I will say, the information that we're sharing here, it's voluntary, right? And we're here for our best interest and your best interest as well, right? There's certain things that we will say yes, we can talk about, and there are other things that we will say no, we can't talk about, and that's okay. It should be okay. Nobody is forcing us to come here and share our knowledge. So I just wanted to make sure that we're clear as far as like what that looked like when people are having expectations.
I totally
Um,
agree.
so once again, I appreciate you all for coming up here. I mean, just being present with us. And for as far as like if what are the chances of Scrum Master entries, a Scrum Master job there, Ameka? Um, I would say personally, and I'll say it loud and clear, I wouldn't personally start with an entry level job because I believe that you are a Scrum Master. Now, you're not a junior Scrum Master. I believe that. I believe that your experience, I don't know how old you are or what you've done, but I do believe that um, your experience really um, you've learned so much in the past that you can use to leverage and become a Scrum Master without necessarily having to be a intro level. Because junior Scrum Master would be doing the same responsibility as a Scrum Master, so it really wouldn't. I guess it would be the pay difference for you. You take a pay cut for something that you've done in your life, and now you need to just understand that information and how to translate that to a real job. So that per se is what I would say. But regarding the question that you ask, you're a Scrum Master, and everybody that's listening here, whether or not you're a Scrum Master, you're a Scrum Master. If you don't believe it for yourself, I don't know who else would believe it for you. Believe it for you. But Nicole has sent her YouTube channel there. Literally, type in Nicole,
Like Nikki A.
Nikki A, and you wouldn't miss it. It'll pop up on
I
there.
just I just put the URL for those
Okay.
that I guess if you're on your phone, if you just click on that URL, it'll bring you directly to my channel. And
Mhm.
if you feel like we didn't answer any of your questions, you can reach out to us directly. Or if you had a question that you didn't feel comfortable putting it here, you can also reach out to us directly. We'll talk to you.
Okay, reach out to Nicole A, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind talking to you about any questions you didn't
Yeah.
answer. But for right now, this talk is. I'm just kidding. Yeah, definitely reach out to any of us, and for us to have the conversation regarding the question about two jobs. Reach out to Nicole to further explain herself or whatever you want her from that perspective. But any Scrum related
Yep.
questions, go ahead. You have me on Clubhouse. If you're not on Clubhouse, you're doing a disservice to yourself. It's literally a live podcast, Monday through Friday. Somebody somehow is hosting a room. Nicole, I'm not sure why you're not even on Clubhouse either,
I know.
but I'm
I'm
sure
busy.
that
I'm
you
super busy,
hey,
man. Like the
and
YouTube
yeah,
and the
that
other
that does
stuff.
take that takes a lot. That it really
Yeah.
does take a
But
lot.
Anna,
And
I'm gonna be hopping up in and out on your clubhouse. I mean, I do sometimes when I'm available. I just come in
yeah,
there and but just to dedicate myself like that to have my own. I don't know. It's tough. It's
sure.
gonna be tough. Yeah.
But you don't always see that's part of having something. You can always delegate, right?
So,
So you got to build a community, or we can make it a bigger community. It doesn't have to just be me hosting my room. It's our room essentially, right? So it's our community. So however we want to do, if you want to do it on the Mondays or Wednesdays,
yeah,
wherever day, you can just host it in the stuff per se and be able to still have rich.
right.
There's about 4,500 plus people in the community already. I don't think that there's a need to repurpose or rejoin. Okay.
Yep.
You can join Clubhouse, literally type in Clubhouse Scrum Master or Scrum Master Champions for the club. Scrum Master is my name on on Clubhouse. It will pop up and you can just add me and follow the channel there.
Aren't you like the only
Um,
one on Scrum talking about
I
Scrum and
I am the
Clubhouse?
only Scrum Master. There's a method to everything. I literally got up one day and said Scrum Master, and that was my name. So now, if you go on on Clubhouse, you type in Scrum Master, I will be the first person you see. The
Yep.
first person you see. So you won't miss it. That's for sure. But anyways, thank you guys. I really appreciate you.
Yep.
Have a good one, and we're gonna log in. I'm gonna go back on Clubhouse, Nicole. I know you need to come up some more. We need to have more
I will.
conversations
I
like
will for
this
sure.
for
No,
sure.
right. I will.
All
I
right,
will.
love it,
This
love
was
it.
fun. All right, guys. It was
All
a
right,
pleasure talking to
bye.
you guys. Take care.